Hey, what's up, good people, and welcome to yet another episode of our TechTrends Podcast. It's another week, and of course, if it's another week, of course, you can check about tech. The last couple of episodes, we've done quite interesting conversations. Our last conversations around M-Pesa and Airtel Money, how M-Pesa is losing customers, Airtel Money is gaining. But for this episode, we are switching. And of course, as I said earlier, if you listen to this podcast, we always bring you the latest insights, trends, conversations shaping the tech industry. My name is Dinson Kanali, and welcome. And of course, I'm excited to have my friend in the episode. Welcome, William.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Yeah, so you just start by introducing yourself and tell us what you do at LGElectronics.
Okay, my name is William Kamore. Here at LGElectronics, East Africa, I'm usually in charge of training and content. So that's my scope of work.
All right. So, of course, when you think about LG or when you think about consumer electronics in general, one of the most recognizable and trusted brands we've had, of course, I use LG products myself, is LG. And, of course, from TVs and from fridges, from, of course, all these consumer electronics, products that LG is sort of developing and even selling in the Kenyan market. So just start by giving us, a brief overview of LG in Kenya. How's the market like for you right now?
So for LG in Kenya, basically, I think LG has been one of the brands we've been here for, I think, close to the beginning of this century. That's about 99, there 98. I think
those are so many years.
I think that's when now the first products started coming in. So we've been in the Kenyan space for about 20 something years. And I can say that how business has been, like, we've seen a lot of evolving business throughout the time, because a lot of things change, and especially technology changes, the different growth in terms of even population, infrastructure, money. So the scope of LG business in Kenya, I can say, is around in all major towns. Through our official distributor, that is Opalnet, and then also other partners we have, like in Hotpoint showrooms, we have Carrefours, Naivases, Quickmarts, I think all hypermarkets you can mention, not forgetting even dealers. So I would say the network is big.
Oh yeah. So it's interesting because, I'm actually a very huge LG consumer myself. I have an LG TV, actually. I mean, an LG fridge, a very huge fridge that I got from your shop at, T-Mall. I remember there was an event we had attended a couple of months back, and they told, okay, you're an LG customer, you came here, you can actually give us a voucher. Then I used that voucher to top up. I used that voucher to top up. And got a very nice fridge that actually I use it in the house. Then in my Kasimba in Chag, I also have an LG TV. And also in my house right now, where I stay in Nairobi here.
You have an LG TV?
Yes, I have an LG TV. Hata kama sikai yuko sana. But I have a TV, an LG TV there as well. Then in my house as well, I also have another TV. I remember there's a time you guys sent us some review units. And I really love that TV. Then I followed customer, no, this is what I'm going to get. So I have an LG TV as well in my house. So, there's always a story around LG, because when we were growing up, we used to see, of course we are young. So, LG, that's a very nice TV. No, until we grew up, of course, went to school and started doing what we are doing right now and studying tech, we get to understand, like, okay, it's actually a very, very big brand.
Exactly. Yeah. So, just like you mentioned, during the course of the years, you find that LG is one of the brands that are I would not like to mention most of the major brands in Kenya, but being that LG has been here for many years, you find that these are the products that most of us have grew up with. Because you'll either find someone who had an LG fridge, especially fridges. I get that from most people, because they're like, hey, my mom has a fridge. Hey, so even when someone grows up or starts working, they always be like, hey, I'll go look for a fridge. But now the market has many brands, but you find that most people will aspire to get an LG product, be it a fridge, a washing machine, a TV. So that's one of the brands, or that's what we like to give when it comes to when someone talks about the brand, or what top of mind brands comes to your head when you think about the major products.
There are people actually really hooked to LG products. You tell them, like someone would ask me, I want to buy a TV or a let me say a TV or a fridge. Then you tell them, no, Brian, next time, I'm going to see LG. I want an LG TV. It's because of that brand association. I think it's because how the brand has grown to be a very trusted brand over the years, especially in the Kenyan market. And maybe would you say, actually, LG is the most preferred brand for Kenyan consumers?
Yes, I would say that, because usually when we do surveys, and we ask people like most of the key buying factors they will mention or what brands they would prefer, we usually do get some that. So I will not say that LG is the most preferred, but I will say it's among the top three most preferred brands, especially in Kenya when it comes to all appliances, or we can say category-wise, because customers are mostly skewed by category-wise, be it TV, refrigerator, washing machine, something like that.
There's a time LG sent me a very huge TV. It was an 85-inch TV in my house. Nikasema, I need to work harder in my life, because the kind of of experience you are getting just out of this world, when you just use it, So you switch from that 85 inches, you go back to your 65. Inakaa ni kama
TV yote inakaa ndogo after that.
Inakaa ndogo after that. But actually it's very interesting to see all these developments. And of course, one of the things we've seen, especially this year, we've seen you introduce, some quite interesting products, in the market. And as I said, of course, you're known for pushing boundaries in tech. And we've seen you go big with a lot of, we were just talking earlier offline about, the which product was it again that you launched recently? Last product you launched?
We launched the Mirror Instav.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about that. The other day we were at the event where you launched the double the washing machine. What is it called?
The wash tower.
Yeah, the wash tower. Yes, exactly. So quite interesting product. Maybe just talk to us some of the latest products that you actually introduced in the market. Yes.
Recently or in the future?
Yeah, just recently. Yeah.
Recently. I thought you wanted me to spill beans.
Yeah, I know you can do that.
But yeah, recently we've had a lot of growth and a lot of launches in launching products in the Kenyan market. So when it comes to, for example, I'll go by category wise, because for example, when I start with the media solutions, this encompasses like TVs and soundbars. We've had a recent launch in new soundbars that came up into the market sometime last year. And then also keep in mind or watch out, we'll be launching something new still coming up this year in terms of just in the audio selection. So some new Bluetooth speakers will be coming up. And then for the home solutions, under home solutions, we've had the latest refrigerator category, that is the Mirror Instav. We've also had the wash tower. We've also had dishwashers coming up last year, to the end of last year, even dryers. And recently, even for the what we call the energy solutions, this is in terms of air conditioners and commercial air conditioners. They also have some new technology that's coming up. So this year, I want to say this year there'll be a lot of good things coming in.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot to mention, actually, one of the other best products I've ever invested my money in was the direct drive washing machine. I remember asking you the other when I was purchasing it, and you sent me to what is this mall? Just Westgate, yeah. And I picked it from there, Westgate. And I think it's one of the best investment I ever made in, and I'm still using it until now. It has actually never failed me, And let me switch a bit back to so when Kenyans are purchasing things like fridges, there's things like energy efficiency, durability. Until recently, I didn't know how serious Kenyans were about energy until I saw people buying products based on this fridge has energy rating X. Actually, it's a very important factor. So maybe just talk to us, how does LG actually ensure, how does it tailor its products to basically just suits the Kenyan market? Putting in, factoring in things like, of course, energy efficiency, durability, and of course, affordability. Yeah. So,
I mentioned earlier when I said that when it comes to the products we want to launch in the Kenyan market, because LG's portfolio is quite big. Even if you're talking about refrigerators, or even talking about washing machines or TVs or even microwaves, you find that to understand which products will fit this market, we usually do customer surveys. So when I'd like to urge your viewers or even you, whenever you come across an LG survey, please help us with that information, because it goes a long way to seeing which products will matter into the customer. And one of the questions we usually ask is the key buying factors, because key buying factors usually change in terms of demographics, in terms of the times that we are in, or even any situation that's going on, because we can say, for example, the key buying factors that we had for about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, that was during COVID. those are way different from the king buying factors we get
Yeah.
now. So like you mentioned, when it comes to energy efficiency usually comes up, especially in home appliances solutions. We're talking about washing machines, refrigerators, dryers, dishwashers. That's one of the major key buying factors most people will ask, because for home appliances solutions, we tend to use them more, or most people ask themselves, why should I get this product if it's going to consume this much electricity?
Exactly,
So one of the functions or features that we push on most of our home appliances is energy efficiency. And energy efficiency will come from the technology used, even from the energy efficient chipsets that are used. And it goes a long way, even in terms of the technologies that are used, especially in this product.
Yeah, okay. Now, let's switch a little bit and talk about consumer trends, of course, some market insights. Of course, the Kenyan market is actually changing, it's evolving. Someone always tells me, and whenever, of course, we do a lot of product reviews, tunaambiwanga, you'll post, for example, I'll send out a tweet about the price of a product, and the argument was, Kenya is a market of price, why is this so expensive?
Yes.
What are some of the key consumer trends have you seen in the electronics and home appliance space? And maybe just talk about, of course, things like how are you responding to smart home technology, mobile-driven interactions, and of course, affordability trends. What are kind of things you are seeing in the market right now?
See, one of the things we talk about when I was talking about the key buying factors, you see, even other people, if let's say you ask someone, how much would you pay for this particular product? And we've come to learn that, even if you push out any survey, always whichever amount you put the least and the second least, most people will always choose that amount. So basically, because everyone wants to save something when it comes to amount, how much you want to use. So what you came to think about is, you see, what I can say that cheap or expensive is usually relative to someone, because you are cheap or you're expensive is someone else's cheap or expensive. So what matters at the end of the day is usually the value. Like, even if I'm getting this product, what is it equivalent in terms of value do I get for what I'm paying? So that's why we try and encourage, if you're in the market looking for a product, don't mostly focus on the price. Focus on the value that you will get from this particular product. So if you're talking about energy efficiency, performance, durability, the smart functions, the usability. So you see, all these are what factors will drive to you to see what kind of functions will I get to this. So coming to your question about the trends, you'll find that during these times, because one thing that market trends changed, especially during COVID, because what happened, especially during that time, most people had a lot of free time. So most people had a lot of free time. They had internet, they had phones. So coming up now post COVID, you find that people now had more information about most of the products that either anyone is doing around the world, and information was now out there. So it came to be that the way you're communicating to the customers now is not the same way you'll communicate to the customers before, because now most people have the information. So even if you're telling someone about this product, they will tell you, so this, and then you wonder, unajua.
I know.
So, so it came to be like that. Most of this information, it comes, and that's why you see they came up a lot of an adoption in terms of AI, in terms of smart homes, in terms of connectivity. That's when it came about. That's why you see most brands now are starting to communicate AI. And if you check, you'll find that LG started communicating AI in 2018. Actually, that's the first time LG started communicating AI and smart homes, even before COVID. So when it came out, that's when now you see other people like, okay, it seems here there was something. So there is a lot of dynamics that's coming up in terms of the customer trends or how they look into things.
All right. I'm also glad you mentioned AI in 2018, because one of the discussions we had on this podcast is that there are some points in our lives actually AI. We've been using AI, but we didn't know it's AI. I think it's just until recently that now that AI has actually become very mainstream, and now people are starting to actually have conversation around AI. Now, maybe And actually, that's the things like LG ThinQ comes in. So maybe how is actually LG responding to this growing demand for, of course, you talked about smart home appliances, AI power technology, there's LG ThinQ, smart TVs, and of course, connected devices. How is LG actually responding to this?
How is what?
LG responding to this.
So LG takes pride, especially in terms of understanding the user needs and the customer's needs in how best you'd want your appliance to work. Because at the end of the day, your appliance is supposed to help or make your life much more easier and much more convenient. So when it comes to integrating AI into all these products, take into account what the product does. So with the integration of ThinQ, because that is LG's AI platform, in usage in terms of how you connect to your phone, or how you access your TV or your refrigerator or your washing machine. So I'd use an example of, for example, let me say about TV. So how AI is used in TV through LG's ThinQ is that the TV is able to understand how best you like viewing your content or what is your most favorite content, and then optimizing this content to fit your needs. So in terms of picture and sound, it comes out the way you'd want it to be, but ironically, you don't know yourself that the TV is showing you how exactly you want it to be. So, or how you like to view your content. So that's how AI integration will come into it, or even in terms of connectivity, such that if you want to connect your products, you can check them out. Let's say you always have your products with you. That's what we like talking about when we talk about ThinQ. Such that even if you leave home on your phone, you have your washing machine with you, you have your refrigerator with you, you have your AC with you.
You can control everything actually from where you are.
You can control from anywhere in this world through just a simple application. And then also, like we mentioned, the integration between now, let's say your phone, your washing machine, or your TV, such that if you're in the house and you're watching a movie on your TV and you're doing some laundry, once the laundry is done, or if there is any issue, the notification comes on your TV. It's not even on your phone, because when you're watching TV, sometimes you even forget your phone. So when you're watching TV, a notification will pop up on your TV. You'll be like, hey, your laundry is done. Like, so
exactly. And I think these things work best when you have that ecosystem. You have an LG TV, you have an LG washer. So all this connecting just one ecosystem, I think they work best that way.
Yes, they do. But so also not to block, let me just say, not to block others. I would say that the LG ThinQ platform is also open source, such that it's able to also accommodate other smart or Wi-Fi enabled appliances into the ThinQ technology. So it necessarily doesn't mean that you only have to have LG products, because other products and in cooperation with like Matter devices, you can be able to incorporate, let's say, for example, smart sockets, smart locks, smart switches, even your blinds. You can all control all through the ThinQ platform. So it is open source to accommodate. And then what we call it is also a multi-AI service, meaning that it's able to incorporate Google Assistant and Alexa on the same platform, but sometimes that is dependent on the region.
Okay. Interesting. So let's switch a bit and talk about, of course, we touched base on growth and everything. I mean, on products and everything. Let's talk about the business growth and, of course, customer support. And I think it's one area that we've seen, LG go big in. Have actually been engaged, by LG as a company to create a lot of content around LG support and everything. And what kind of partnerships have you established in Kenya to expand, of course, to enhance customer experience and market penetration? Of course, we've seen the LG brand shop is actually a very big thing for you. There are retailers across almost all malls in Nairobi. What kind of partnership are we looking at?
So how partnerships come into being, because no brand or no company can be able to exist on its own here, especially if you are targeting consumers. So partnerships are most important, and that's why we try to look into what partnerships will most benefit the customers and the end user. So one, through our official distributor, that is Opalnet, we are able to expand our networks to ensure that all parts are covered in the Kenyan market, and then also pending deals with the all hypermarkets. That will say with Carrefours, with Naivases, with Quickmart, with Clean Shelves, with all the major supermarkets you'd see.
You actually had a partnership with Carrefour the other day. Imeisha ama bado it's
bado ijaisha. Yes, actually it's running inafa ishe hii wiki.
Okay.
It was the brand festival, and then also last year we also had a partnership we had a partnership with Hotpoint, who's also one of our esteemed customers. So Hotpoint, when they were celebrating their 40 years in Kenya, we also partnered with them during that time. And then also not forgetting even Naivas coming up, they are celebrating their anniversary. So I will not give much details to that, but also that's something in store coming up this year. And then also trying to reach out to dealers, because not forgetting the dealers and the sub-dealers that are able to help us reach all the customers and all regions and all markets.
Yeah. Why are such partnerships so important for you as a company?
So when you mention about a service, because partnerships and partners are what helps brands grow.
Yeah.
And that is usually all partnerships. I would say it's a win-win situation, because you help. It boils down to how the brand will grow, how the partnership or the dealer will grow, and what is the end user or the end customer getting. Because like you mentioned about service, we also had what we call the genuine campaign.
Yeah.
And now the genuine campaign was aimed to ensure that the end user or the product or the end user or the consumer is getting a genuine LG product that is fit for this market, that will serve them more. And I would say this campaign was successful and is still ongoing, because we were able to eliminate or reduce the counterfeits that are available in the market by having the end user get genuine products from dealers, from sub-dealers, from retailers, and even all the way even to the brand shops.
Right. William, so one of the rules I always have as a user, as a consumer, is before I purchase a product, for me, after sales service is always a very important thing. And of course, customer support. Especially for electronics and home appliances, because things happen. You could buy a product, ufike kwa nyumba, then even after testing at the shop, ufike kwa nyumba, then what kind of after sales support does LG offer to its customers?
That's a very good question, because I don't know if you have enough time for me to talk about.
No, we have time.
all the after sales service supports that LG offers.
There's so many, right?
There are so many. I think even I would have come with a portfolio on what they offer. Because for example, for the service center, one is that they do offer a toll-free number that you can be able to reach it. That is 0800 545454 from Monday to Saturday, 8 to 6. And then also reachable via WhatsApp. That is 0700 545454. And I usually find WhatsApp very much easy and engaging, because you see, one of the things, like you mentioned, unfortunately, something goes wrong with your product. And sometimes it's even hard for you to explain to a technician or to explain to someone what is wrong. So with the LG the toll-free number or the WhatsApp number. So with the WhatsApp number, you can be able to, our service team will be able to direct you to a video call. You can even send an audio. You can even send a video of the issue. If the issue persists, they can do a video call with you. They guide you through if it's any installation problem, repair issue, maintenance issue, and so on. And the other thing we also have, the other package we also have when it comes to the product is also the use of accredited service centers across the world. I'm not across the world, across the country, because we are currently available in there should be 12 to 14 major towns. So there is an accredited LG service center available in most of the major towns. So even if you purchase a product in Nairobi and then you took it to your shags in Kisumu or Kisii, and then you're wondering, hii sasa imetupata shida, don't worry, you will be guided to where they are, and you'll get assistance from there. The other thing we also have is what we call short repair time. So even if you bring your products, they are challenged to ensure that the customer's product should be done or finished within, I think we are running now at 3.5 to 4 days. So depending on all that, so that's some of the package that you get. The other part you get is not only also in Kenya, but also across East Africa. So even if you have any relative anywhere across East Africa, the number is the same. You can use the website. You can use any social media pages to get in touch with our service center.
Warranty policies, you didn't mention that.
Yes. So for the warranty policies, all LG products come with 2 years warranty. That is the 2 years warranty on the product or any manufacturer default. But now when you come to, for example, the home solutions, home appliance solutions, you get an added warranty on the core parts. For example, I'm talking about if it's a refrigerator, you will get 10 years warranty on the compressor, which is the heart of the refrigerator. If it's the washing machine, you get 10 years warranty on the direct drive motor. If it's the dishwasher, the same 10 years warranty of the motor. If it's the dryer, 10-year warranty on the motor, like so on and so forth. So that's the warranty period that we have on the product.
Right. Before we actually wind up and talk about for the future outlook, of course, one thing I know we've been big on is sustainability and a lot of CSR activities. Of course, we all know sustainability is actually becoming a major focus for tech companies worldwide. And trust me, that thing really forced us to create a different website. It really pushed us to create a different website that just covers sustainability stuff. So apart from just covering technology, we have a new website called Eco News that just covers sustainability focused news across Africa. Especially for tech companies. What initiatives is LG undertaken to just promote environmental responsibility and sustainability?
So now that you mentioned, especially when you talk about now the ESG, that is the environmental and social governance and also sustainability, you find that LG aims to make environmentally conscious products in the market. And this has also come up in what we're trying to call the clean tech research, because research and development is a key major factor, because when it comes to a product, you have to think about the whole life cycle of a product. That is from production to manufacturing, to distribution, to even packaging, to how it comes to the end user, to the usage, all the way up to the, from usage up to the way to the end of life of the product, and also how best to dispose of the product once you finish. So you see, that's a whole cycle. So it comes up to what LG mentioned, what we call the trying to see how we can be able to have clean technology. And now it takes about 2 key areas when it comes to clean technology, in terms of the carbon neutrality and also how best the product will be used at the end of or during the course of the person using the product. So taking care in terms of, so one is that the encompassment of recycled products, because we have a lot of recycled products, and LG aimed to increase its recycled products and recycled plastics in the making or in the manufacturing of the new products. So that's one of the key points, key major factors. Then the other thing is, once the product is made, you also have to think about the packaging, because packaging is also one of the things that most people, because majority of people will not use the packaging after they are done. So having environmental conscious packaging, especially from recycled paper and recycled plastics. So all these that are used in terms of the packaging of the materials, coming up to the components that are being used. For example, the gases used in the refrigerator, being that they are conscious of the environment. And also, now when I'm talking about the last part, which is now on the disposal, it comes back. Let's say you bought a product, you've been with it for 5 years or 3 years. Our service center does offer that. So if you have a product, you don't know how best to dispose of it, or if it's not working, just make a point of having it to our service center. And the LG Service Center is in partnership with some of the government organizations that are used in how best to dispose of electronics. So that way now it ensures that the whole product life cycle will be taken care of.
I'll give LG their flowers for that, because even just last month I was reading about how you are ranked. You secured the top 1% ranking in the S&P Global Corporate Sustainability Assessment, CSA. So, and this was probably the second time you guys getting that position. So it's quite interesting. So beyond sustainability, of course, LG has been really actively involved in various CSR projects, some of which, of course, we've covered. We've seen you provide books to, communities in a lot of different areas. We've seen you engage in a lot of CSR activities. Just highlight some of these CSR initiatives that you've been part of. Yeah.
Thank you for that. So one thing, like I mentioned, when we talked about the taking care of the environment and also that, the other thing LG takes pride or wants to ensure is also taking care of the consumers that are part of this. So not only the environment, but also the people. So this comes about in what we call the LG Ambassador Challenge.
Yeah.
So the LG Ambassador Challenge, I think this will be on the 5th year or 4th year, if I'm not mistaken. The LG Ambassador Challenge helps in supporting individuals, or even not only individuals, or even your locality, or even where you come from, or even your home area. So you can identify somewhere or a project that you'd want LG to support in terms of this. So the LG Ambassador Challenge means that through, again, I'll also mention when you talk about partnerships, we partner with the KFHI, that is Korean food. We partner with the KFHI in terms of how best or how we can be able to reach out to all these communities. So throughout the years, we've seen support of braille machines. We've also seen support of setting up schools, or setting up classrooms, libraries, and also ICT centers all the way in somewhere in Kajiado. So what will encourage people is that unlike other brands which choose what they want to support, and that is a human being who does that. So what we do is that we open up the challenge on our social media pages. It should be coming up around this. It usually comes up at the beginning of Q2. That's around April, and it's usually called LG Ambassador Challenge, 100 Days of Miracles. So you just go to the page, you download a form. You write what is your need, what have you identified, and how do you want LG to support. So LG supports with 1 million Kenya shillings. So you indicate how you'll want this 1 million to use. If you want it to for boreholes, if it's for whatever. So just send it. There's a committee that sits down and picks the top 3 or the top 2 that will tick the boxes on the reach, the awareness, and how many people it impacts. And then that way now you can be able to give back to all these consumers that are actually consuming our products. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. As we almost come, to an end, of course we've had quite a detailed discussion. So looking ahead as we wind up, William, what's next for LG? Of course, I know you can't mention the product, but we have a lot of exciting things coming up for LG. So what should we expect, as we move to the second quarter of this year?
So actually time flies.
Much is done.
Much is done. But then now we are going to Easter. That's the second quarter. Before you know it, in the third quarter. So in terms of the future, or what LG wants to do especially, is broaden its product lineup or product mix-up in the Kenyan market. That's why you find just during this end of the beginning of this year when we launched the Mira InstaView, it's just a new product in terms of the lineup, because the InstaView product has been here for about 6-7 years. So this is increasing the lineup, and then also having products that are able to meet all the needs and even match the different age groups. That's all. Like I said, in the AV side, we have something new coming up in terms of the audios, and then also trying to develop other trying to develop other avenues that we can be able to reach out and increase our network, ensuring that we reach coverage not only to Kenya, but also to all other East African countries that LG has.
All right. Thank you so much, William, for joining us. Anything you want to close for our listeners or for viewers watching this podcast?
So what I can say is be on the lookout, and also follow LG's social pages. That is on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on X. We have new things coming to ensure that life's good for everyone.
Of course, those things, we're going to be covering them as well on the TechTrends publication. So thank you so much for joining us in this episode, and that's a wrap. for another insightful episode of our TechTrends podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to subscribe, share this episode with your friends, and of course, follow us on all your favorite podcast streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and even AfriPods. That's it for this episode of TechTrends Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.